Rudd has moved to 4th position, passing Sterling Marlin coming out of corner number 9. And here is Darrell Waltrip back into the pit area, and Jerry Punch is right there.
An unscheduled stop for Darrell Waltrip in the Tide Chevrolet. He had a tire going down, and now Jeff Hammond, Eddie Dixon, and the crew put right side tires on. Great pit stop, 12 and 9/10 seconds for the Tide crew. Waltrip on his way.
Battered race car of Darrell Waltrip goes back out there. He was in 10th position when he came in for that unscheduled stop.
And Jeff Bodine, as Waltrip was going out of the pits, also was getting the Levi Garrett Chevrolet as we see him going back out of the action. Of course, Jeff is many laps down now.
Bodine, with a big puff of smoke from that car earlier, brought it in, and when we talked to him, he simply didn't know what was wrong, but apparently the Levi Garrett crew has it repaired. And look at Rudd moving up. He's now in 3rd position as he's been able to pass Dale Earnhardt. So Rudd is 3rd, Earnhardt 4th, and Sterling Marlin 5th. Terry Labonte is running 2nd, and the leader remains Rusty Wallace.
Well, Ricky Rudd has just picked him off one at a time. He was 8th on this restart, Bob, and now has gotten himself up to 3rd position. Only has 2 more cars to get back to the front. He's almost 7 seconds behind Rusty Wallace. In fact, 6 9/10 of a second behind Rusty Wallace now that he's gotten into 3rd. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he's able to gain on him.
The crew would very much like to have a win. They have finished in 2nd position twice this year as Chad Little also comes in for a stop in the Coors sponsored machine. Ricky Rudd has finished 2nd at Richmond. He's finished 2nd at North Wilkesboro, but not a win so far for this team in Winston Cup competition. This seems to be Ricky's best shot at a win, certainly all year long.
And I think he felt coming here that it would be his best shot. Even though he was injured at Charlotte, it was questionable whether he would be able to change gears and do all that thing because his leg was injured, but he says it's really easier on him here than it was on the oval tracks because he brakes with his right foot here. On the oval tracks, he brakes with his left foot.
You can see some hand gesturing there by Dale Earnhardt as he signaled to Sterling Marlin, perhaps signaling him to go ahead and make a pass because Dale Earnhardt loses another position. And Dale, while he had handling problems last week at Dover that kept him out of competition, is not doing too badly, but is losing position as Jeff Bodine goes behind the wall again.
Boy, he had big smoke coming out of the car as he came across the start-finish line, and Rusty Wallace was coming up on him, but Jeff did get the car out of the racing surface, and you can see now he's pulled out at the end of pit road, and he's backing down pit road rather than go all the way around the racetrack. So
perhaps Jeff Bodine is out of the competition after trying it again, but the car just not working for him. So Rusty Wallace in car number 27 leads the Budweiser 400, and we have completed 58 of the 95 laps. We'll be back with more right after this. The leader, meanwhile, Rusty Wallace, is having difficulty passing a back marker, and in the meantime these guys are closing in on the leader.
Well, that back marker is Chad Little, who had made an unscheduled pit stop. So Chad's running very strong. He's still on the lead lap. He's running in 23rd position. That means there are 23 cars in the lead lap, but he is about to go a lap down and is fighting Rusty Wallace to try to stay in the lead lap as we see this fight for 2nd place.
Now we'll see what Rudd does as they come down the backstretch. This is the place to pass if Ricky can do it. Saw the yellow number 4 car of Rick Wilson also on the racetrack. He is many laps down, having had transmission problems earlier in the race. Nope, Rudd still can't get the job done.
Well, maybe so. Going into turn 9, he's going to drive hard in there, but Labonte goes a little bit high. Here comes Rudd down on the inside. Can he make the pass?
Coming out of corner number 9, Rudd is to the inside and Labonte outside. Here they come. Rudd, I believe, is going to have 2nd position. Terry Labonte, though, battles back, and they're side by side at the start-finish line. Somebody's going to have to give here as they head toward the S's. There's only room for one lane, and Ricky Rudd has 2nd spot.
Well, that was a neat pass. He just drove deep into turn 9. Labonte went deep too, but he went a little high as he went into the turn, and Rudd was able to move underneath him. If it had been the last lap at the start-finish line, it would have been a photo finish for that 2nd place, but as they went into the S's, Rudd was able to take it over.
We have 32 laps remaining in this race, and the situation is Rusty Wallace the leader, and now Ricky Rudd is in second position. Those two cars definitely the strongest in the first 2/3 of the race. Terry Labonte runs in third. Sterling Marlin has 4th spot at the moment, and in 5th is Kyle Petty. 6th is Phil Parsons. 7th Neil Bonnet. 8th is Richard Petty. 9th is Vinnie Parsons, and in 10th is Mark Martin.
And while that battle was going on for second, Rusty Wallace was able to move around Chad Little and put him a lap down. And since then, he has moved around Elliott Forbes Robinson, who is substituting for Rick Hendrick, and put him a lap down. So now we have 21 cars in the lead lap.
And a couple of others have gone behind the wall or to their garage area, including the 79 car of Roy Smith. They've taken the 31 car of Joe Ruttman just behind the pit wall to work on it, so Joe may be back in competition soon, but at the moment those two cars are out of competition. So Rusty Wallace leads with Ricky Rudd second and Terry Labonte third. 64 laps completed at Riverside International Raceway. Back in just a moment.
NASCAR celebrating 50 years in auto racing from 1948 to 1998.
Back at Riverside International Raceway, where Rusty Wallace leads Ricky Rudd and Terry Labonte in the Budweiser 400. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, let's take a look and show you what happened to Darrell Waltrip. Now, coming down the backstretch at about 180 or 85 miles an hour, the fastest part of this road course, he was gearing down to go into turn 9, and boom, he cut this left front tire. And I mean, he cut it in a big way. Take a look.